Hi. Getting a little bit warmer. March now. Today I'd like to talk about God's love. Now, in praying, and I've been praying quite a bit, what I pray for is to receive God's love. And I do it. I just try to feel a longing for God's love, and that's what I try to feel or do feel, and then various amounts of God's love come to me. Now, I did have an experience a couple weeks ago where I was praying, and I could really feel it. I could really feel a love coming to me, and that doesn't happen all the time. I do quite often now just become very, very happy. For no reason in my life do I become happy, and I just become happy. And I have right now there's a lot of family issues in my life, and I haven't felt great, and hence I haven't been doing videos. But I don't want that to stop me, so I'd just like to continue. I feel quite good today, and but there's still quite a bit of trauma around me. I'll just describe there's two paths we can go by, and one is called the natural love path, and one is called the divine love path. And the natural love path is us as we were created by our first parents, and they were complete. They were perfect in that they didn't have any. They had no reason to sin. They did not sin in the beginning. And what they did, Aman and Aman, was at some point they decided between themselves. It was both of them decided that they kind of wanted to be as God is. They said, "Why? We're not too sure that God is, he might be this all-powerful being, but I just want a little piece of that." And instead of continuing in God's image, they wanted to be part of God's being, and that's what has been called original sin. That's the original sin. I wanted to talk about original sin too, because I think in a lot of the religious realm, and I don't know these realms, so I might have mentioned original sin before without understanding the context of it. But I think a lot of people's idea of original sin is it's a sin that originates in us, in our creation from God, that we do have a sin in us, an original sin. But that's not true. That's not the way it is. We all are created when our soul comes into our concepted being. There is no sin. The sin begins with the sins of our parents. We absorb them. We are a sponge. We are a soul that can suck up emotions, but we didn't start that way. And Aman had their perfect humanness, and let's call it the natural love, let's say. And in the natural love, and there's many beings now who progress along a natural love path, and it has a lot to do with intellectual searching and learning and looking at morals and looking at forgiveness and looking at redemption and working towards those things, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's it's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing, and many people do that, as opposed to what I'll talk in a minute about the divine love path. And so if you the natural love path, and it's so you work out all your issues, all the issues that you received from earth, and you can work out these issues on earth before our bodies pass away, and many of us do, and to progress in the natural love path and just become better and better human beings. And there is so when we do pass and we're on the natural love path, there's a ceiling on it. There's a place you can go and you can't go any further. And there's millions, billions, I don't know, amount of spirits in that place in the spirit world, and they're very, very happy. They live in an extremely beautiful place, and many just do not know about a divine love path. So on the earth and in the spirit world, if we're talking about the divine love path, it is when a soul can receive God's love directly. It's not a phantom thing. It's a direct love that the soul is receiving, and in that way you are able to grow. And it's not like it takes away. It doesn't really relieve the law of compensation that we have, but because it's a higher law, or a more powerful law than the law of compensation, that it can do things and take and really relieve us of many of our sins in a much quicker way than you can on the intellectual natural love path. So in that realm, the divine love path, it's you go beyond the sphere where natural love path spirits are. You go higher than that, and you can go very, very high. It's just a continual, gradual receiving of God's love, and it's altogether more beautiful, more wonderful, undescribable, really, to people on earth. And it just keeps growing and growing. There's always more love to be received. Now I think that I have received a little bit of that love, and to me that's the most important thing I can do and I want to do. And so that's what I've been practicing. And hasn't even been that long. I really didn't start praying until last September, and I didn't pray as much as I do now, but I did start, and I did begin to look at God's love in that way, and the divine love path in that way, and it's just. But since then, I just gotten more and more, doing a lot of reading, a lot of looking at videos, to grow in that way. And so now I just try to pray as often as I can, and I will if I'm doing something, I will stop and take time to pray, and I'll just, instead of looking at a video or looking at the internet or doing something that in the past I would do, I will just sit down or lay down and pray in that way. And it is really the most important thing we can do. Now, when I talk like this, I talk a lot about the spirit world as if it's a big part of our life, and it really is. It certainly doesn't feel like most of the time when we're on Earth, I know, and we involve ourselves so much about what's happening on the Earth, and that seems to be our only focus. But in reality, our Earth life is such a minor part of our whole life. And if you compare however long we live, say 80 years on Earth, we live in the spirit world for the rest of our lives. I mean, forever, as far as we know. So you take 80 years compared to forever, and that's a huge difference. And because we don't talk about these things, it's not in our frame of reference. We don't focus on it, and we don't have to, certainly. However, the more we can be prepared for what is going to happen in the spirit world, and what is going to happen is when our body dies, we are going to be in the spirit world in a place that matches the condition of our soul. And if we have done a lot of not great things on the earth, if we have not come to understand some of God's love, let's say, or what God would consider love, and we act out of harmony with that, the more out of harmony we act with that, the more dark, let's say, our world will be when we go to the spirit world. And it can be very, very dark. It can be very, very dark. And the difficulty when you enter the spirit world in a dark place is you are going to be with pretty much only who you can see, people that are in the same condition. And from that place, it's very, very difficult to grow. It's very difficult to see what to do. But any condition we are in, we're talking about really low, but any condition, we're going to be in a world that matches the condition of our soul, as I said. And it just, the more preparation we have when that happens, the better we will be, and the easier it will be for us to know what to do, really, and know how to proceed. So, and we can, I talk about receiving God's love, and we can do that on earth, and the more we do that, just the better it will be when we die. That's just the way it is. On the natural love path too, it will be better. We will be in a better position. We will, if we can grow in a positive manner, spiritually, with our soul, prior to our leaving our earthly existence, then it'll just be better. There's lots of readings in the book I showed you before, the Paget messages, where many spirits are speaking through Paget, and they all say that they just wished that they had have been able to or known to grow while on earth, because many of them have spend a long time in dark places in the spirit world, and I'm talking about a long time, like thousands of years, some of them. And if you have no conception of what to look for, or to see what could benefit you, then it's very difficult. Now, one thing I will say, a little tip is, if you, we can't, there will be spirits, there will be higher spirits around us, well, they are now too on earth, but they will be when we pass over. There will be too. It's just we can't see them. I can't see them. I don't know, but there could be spirits right here. I can't see them. I can't feel them. I'm trying to really focus on my feeling of feeling them. I did that today, and I'm going to do that more. And I think we can learn to feel them, to feel more how they're guiding us. And anybody that's in a brighter spirit, and we can't see them because they're very bright, and we just can't see them. And the same as in the spirit world, we're not tuned to see them. But if you can look at yourself and see how light you are or how dark you are in the spirit world, then you can know to, if you do catch a glimpse of someone who is brighter, anybody brighter than you knows something you don't, and they can help you. Anybody that is the same darkness of you, they really can't help you. They're in the exact same position as you are, and they can't help you. And that's who you're living with. And so that's my tip of the day. But anyways, I think that's enough for today. Thank you very much.